Hey, it's me, Sai7, and welcome to part 74 of Limbus Company, and who's ready to gamble? It's Walpurgisnacht 7. Honestly, might be one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of the two IDs that we're getting today. Coming from Ruina, they are General Invitation IDs, Hanafuda, and... was it the Night Owl Captain? Man, I'm so excited. And they look really cool. Kind of odd kits though. Both of them being like Tremor plus some other status effect. So the Hanafuda Ishmael being Tremor and Sinking, and then Gregor being like Tremor and Bleed, which isn't new. Ncorp Ryoshu is also that way. Hey Link, how are you doing? Got enough pulls? I have to check how many tickets I have. Yeah, are you guys feeling lucky? You know what? Honestly, I'm feeling pretty damn good. I think like I talked about at the end of last stream, I started playing another gacha called Chaos Zero Nightmare, and I've had some insane pull. I pulled 3 out of 4 of the best 5 stars in that game. And all free to play. But you know, that game's fun, but the story sucks. It is not good. It's one of those where every female character is like super thirsty for your character for no reason. But the gameplay itself is really fun. Anyways, enough of that. The Limbus time. So there is no story because they're trying to push out Canto 9 this December. And so instead we have Enkephalin. We have to spend 3,000 in Enkephalin. What the hell? Spending Enkephalin to assemble Enkephalin modules does not count towards your spent Enkephalin count. However, each Enkephalin module spent counts as 20. Oh, that's fair. That's not bad. I mean, this would definitely be maybe pretty tough to do if you like just started. You had insane luck when pulling in Nikki today? Wow, lucky. Let's check their numbers. Dude, that's such a sick transition. So Ishmael getting an ID this Walpurgis and the announcer being Gebra. I can't not pull, man. It's actually insane. So yeah, Hanafuda Ishmael is discard and then Tremor Sinking. But yeah, man, Tremor is just getting like all the good stuff lately, huh? So she can get Quinn Power +1, max 2 on her skill 1. So that puts her at what? 4 to 18? Or 16? 4 to 16? It's pretty good. Skill 2. Power +2, so this goes what, 6, 12, 18, 4 to 22. Alright, already her coins are looking pretty damn insane, and we're not even into her unique effects. Sakura-sen, Quinn Power +1 for every 6 from our target, max 3. So 7, 14, 21, 5 to 26. Pretty good. And it seems like what you want to do with her is essentially build your hand, activating these 3 different cards. And then all of that ends up enhancing your... It enhances all of your skills, but particularly your skill 3. Yeah, she seems pretty damn good. stacking the deck. On tails hit, heal 5 sanity once per turn. That's pretty damn good. Deal plus 10% damage against targets in either low morale or panic states. The support passive, when one ally with the least sanity uses a base attack skill to heads hit, it heals 5 sanity 2 times per turn, excluding allies at negative 40 or lower sanity. Yeah, that's a pretty powerful support passive too. Or trait keywords. Associate Office, Elf. I think somebody mentioned that last stream, huh? Multiple 0.8% and a 1%. Are you worried you used up your luck? And then Gregor. But you know, does anybody feel like they kind of missed out on, you know, making his arm just like a rapier itself? So yeah, his whole gimmick is the open wound mechanic, which progressively gets worse for the enemy. So it goes from being open wound, and at 2 stacks, you replace this effect with a deep wound. And then deep wound, let's see, on Tremor Burst, gain +1 bleed count 2 times per turn. Cannot gain open wound and focus encounter the part. And then when you hit 3 stacks, it turns into Fatal Wound, which is just more bleed count. I kind of think this is maybe the direction that IDs are going to take, where they're like, I don't know, like Tremor plus something else. It really seems to be, I don't know what Project Moon is going for with a lot of the IDs lately. He also has a really cool effect where he's got this Mercedes. The skill does not trigger defense skills and cannot gain ego resources. Compare +1 for every 20% missing HP on the enemy. Core max 4. And this is just like a free hit. Yeah, after an ally attack using base attack skills, the enemy core has 20% or less HP. Use Mercedes on the target once per turn. If there's only one surviving enemy after an attack, this passive also activates when the target is staggered. So he gets free hits in. Good shit. So what are we looking at for actually being able to pull? Okay, 50 tickets, 310 pulls, 12.8k lunacy. Are we feeling it, chat? Also, is there any reason to pull on the Bokok? Can't you just shard these? Weird. You got him in 30 pulls? Nice. So what am I aiming for? I kind of want the Announcer and Ishmael. You can. Easy. Oh no, the Announcer curse. Oh, what do we got? Full stop office? I didn't pull in the wrong banner, did I? Hold on. Okay, I didn't. Wait, did I? Why was Heathcliff there? Oh, that's part of it. Okay, never mind. Never mind, I know why. It was showing off Gregor's attacks. That was funny. I saw green. We got Lantern Dawn off that. Yeah, it was Gregor's assist attack. Damn, dude, a lot of green. Hey, nice. We got Hanafu to Ishmael. I'm happy. Dude, what a cool transition. That's sick.
사람 패는데 이골이나 있는
Green screen jump scare. Hell yeah, man. What was that, 30? You're more excited for Gregor? Blasphemy. How can you say that when best character is getting new IDs? That's crazy. Best character Ishmael. Alright, it's 50 down, chat. It feels so confusing. Ooh, oh, 2 green? Okay, well, oh, we got Hanafuda Ishmael again. Alright, listen, director. I did want her. I don't know if I wanted her twice, though. It could have been a Gregor and an announcer. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's one I already have, too. That's funny. Dude. Gregor? Oh, no. 3 Hanafuda Ishmaels? I'm actually stunned. Wait, hold on. I have a meme for this. There we go. Good old Nemo's here. I hear he's gonna be the next one. What the hell? You know, she is the best character, so. Just share you one Ishmael? Dude, if I could. Alright. Is it weird for there to be so many of these green poles? I feel like this has never happened. This is actually so weird. Fine, turned on. Dude, 80 poles and 3 Ishmaels? What in the hell? That's actually insane. Plus, I think if the core doesn't light up green, then it means it's like a 2-star Walpurgis pole. $70 poles, no green screen jump scare. I believe in you. Are we going broke with this one, chat? My poor lunacy. You beg for your no lunacy? What the hell? I can't tell if that means you hope that I don't get Gregor. That's messed up. That's insane. You're a hater. 3 Hanafuda Ishmael. You know, I will take that though. Big Ishmael fan. I mean, I'll be able to get 40 more pulls. It just might take a week. Oh! Oh, magical girl jump scare. Dude. Not enough lunacy. Tragic. Okay, now that makes a blank. A matching hand. Pray on my downfall, Lamau. Dude, I got a hater. Fair enough. Now, Ishmael did need a Tremor ID, so this is pretty perfect. We're just gonna have to grind out a mere dungeon or two.
거기까지.
Let's check out the Uptie story.
한번 패를 냈으면 아무리 개 같은 상황이셔도 물릴 순 없죠.
Presence of observers in a gambling den does not guarantee that games played there will be completely fair and just. It's not even a moral obligation. Sometimes the rule itself may state that one may freely cheat as long as they manage to avoid the eyes of us observers, or that even if we were to recognize certain sleight of hand, as long as no one else on the table calls it out, we're not necessarily obligated to intervene. No, we saw that in Kanto 2 with Radia. Rules we were called today to observe were: Loudmouth Gambler. 8 Coquette. That's 8 points for me. Oh, damn it. That beats mine by 2 points. 100 Flowers Swirl. We're called to observe games of Huatu, an all-out war of flowers like its namesake, if you will. Battlefield wherein the blossoming chaos of sun-dry petals hides the poison-kissed weeds from plain sight. Dude, Huatu, that sounds like you're trying to spit on somebody. So while we overlook those who know their place and keep their underhanded tactics low-key. The hell? If a poisonous flower blooms too large and elaborate, drawing the ire of other flowers, we cut it off by its roots. Observer, is there anything we can help you with? Behave yourselves. Overplay your tricks and we'll catch you. Remember? I'm sure I shared that rule with everybody before today's games began. Damn it, I knew it. I knew that piece of shit's been cheating all night long. Hot damn, Gold Tier sure is on another level. Silver Tier games don't have these keen-eyed observers to catch them cheaters. These casinos run on a membership system. Said membership system is multi-tiered from silver to diamond. Of course, higher tiers provide additional benefits to the guests of J-Corp's gambling dens, but what matters more is that climbing the ladder grants access to seats in higher tier games. With higher tier memberships comes higher stakes, higher rollers, and higher levels of security against the ever-present cheaters and tricksters in gambling dens. So the gamblers always dream of advancing their placement in the membership tier system. Silver tier games rarely even hire us observers. We don't come cheap, of course, but the silver tier game's smaller scale doesn't really warrant the scrutiny anyway. I stole your Hanafuda-ish luck, how could I? What do you, so you got Gregor but not Ishmael? That is tragic. Well, how many times did you pull Gregor? Was it 3? Well, this is where people like us start showing up. We're hard to observe these professional level games and catch participants with particularly sticky hands, like this one. Gross. Come on, man, I know I've been on a roll tonight, but cheating? Really? You're breaking my heart here. You better have ironclad evidence to hit the brakes. You must be new here. Do you really think your silver tier attitude will fly here? You think you're still at some dingy den where you can get off scot-free from scrutiny and being the loudest person in the room? Twice, but you got 3 announcers and none were Gebra? Damn. You just pulled Hod? She's making fun of you. Listen, can't just sit here and watch you use wish power to blatantly flip one game after another in your favor, okay? Really? Wish power? You little... Seriously, man, are you talking about this tattoo on my arm? This ain't anything special, it's just a tattoo of a centipede. What, too icky for you? That's a funny looking centipede you've got there. Poor thing's only got 10 legs. Seems hardly enough to crawl about given its size. I knew it! It had more legs earlier. Oh, that's tricky. What do you suggest? Oh boy, look at him go. Spilling water all over his arm. What the hell? A fucking squeaky noise. Alrighty, take a good look at this. If it were a wish power tattoo sticker, scrubbing it like so would have erased it, yeah? But suppose that excuse has worked for you before in silver-tiered games. But anyone who's been in the game for long enough knows about procedures that actually tattoo wish powers to your skin. Yeah, serves you right. That's what you get for disrespecting the observer's presence. What are you babbling on about, cheater? Let's see, where did I sense the strongest ripples? It's thanks to him that I managed to snag that wish power user too. What is it? She's got something on her chest here. I don't know what that is. Ah, bingo. You placed the chip inside that Huatu card, didn't you? That way you can tell what card it is even with its face down. I'm sorry, I don't... Listen up, people. We're in J-Corp, the origin of both wish power and the singularity capable of locking anything safely. No, it's gotten a bit cheaper to lock little things like cards nowadays, but storing chips inside cards, this is such an obvious cheat, man. I see this exact trick at least twice a week. No way. But they said these locks are literally impossible to open. I got some nerve thinking that a professional observer like myself wouldn't carry an F-Corp all-purpose unlocker fairy with me. Anyways, as per the rules stipulated, both of you are to give up your hands. Arms out, please. Oh, she means like literally their hands, doesn't she? Oh. Oh, fuck it! He just flipped the table. Are these people ever going to accept the consequences of their actions? Just admit they got caught cheating, lose their hands, big deal. But make a mess and end up writhing around with their entrails splayed across the floor. Nice try. That bullet cost me a damn fortune. But I hope you weren't counting on beating us observers. Slice the runner from his right shoulder down to his left hip. As for the pipe gun toting fool, chop off his arms, then cut him horizontally by his abdomen. Oh, neat. That's bright shades. Ironic. This is what they've been chasing all night, huh? I guess they found it. We apologize for the disturbance, everyone. The trouble has been taken care of, so please return to your games. Hey Kit, how are you doing? Are you pulling for anybody in particular? And they're legging it. Oh well. Suppose I shouldn't expect gold tier gamblers to have the guts to return to their games after that. Yeah, I'd really like to observe a diamond tier game one day. That was quite impressive. What? How long has this guy been sitting here? Oh, do you think it's Gia Kyu? Excuse me, were you playing a game as well? Why yes, everyone seemed to be using the J-Corp singularity and its variations with such abandon that I thought this was simply the kind of game they were playing. 100 flowers swirl rule, was it? I decided to cool off and hide, given how it seemed to be getting a little too hot for my tastes. Alright, this does not seem like Gia Kyu. You hid? Well, I only stopped by to see how gold tier games are played nowadays. I see very little has changed. So, we're the representative of Jiang's office, yes? Still have more techniques to learn to recognize, but you've got good intuition. What really stood out to me is how you managed to clean up the mess afterward. Very intriguing. Hold on, what are you... A sudden thought flashed through my head, just as I was about to stop the silvered gentleman from leaving. Silvered? Should have been able to notice him despite the chaos, but I never picked up on his presence even when he stood right in front of me. There's no other explanation. It's gotta be... the veil? Isn't that perception locking tech exorbitantly expensive? If he was sauntering about with that tech like it's some overcoat, then he's gotta be in the diamond tier, or even blue diamond. This is at once an opportunity and a warning. Opportunity that I've unknowingly managed to give a positive impression to a higher tiered player, possibly expanding our clientele. And a warning in that if I couldn't pick up on those more techniques to learn to recognize, I'd never survive as an observer in the higher rollers games. Well, now that's something not even money can buy. There's no other way to put it. Looks like the biggest winner in today's games is me. That was pretty cool. Yeah, do I need to get that kind of membership to pull Gregor? Is that what's happening right now? Alright, so how close was I? We need... Damn, I actually need 3 more pulls for a guarantee. So let's go ahead and do our weekly hard run. We'll try her out. What was her count though? +1 sinking count, +1. Oh, sinking count, heads hit, inflict another sinking count. I think because she has this amplitude conversion stuff that she belongs in a Tremor team. So I'll put her in there. Sorry, I heard a ruckus. Okay. So we do this, and then we have one more pen pull today. Are you updating 12 gigabytes? Really just got Gripmer Salt. Tragedy. Oh, I should have put a N-Corp reissue in here. Oops. She does a lot of shenanigans too.
자, 판 돌아갑니다.
유혈적 폭력 사태 발생 중.
이미
열차 내에
해줍니다.
남아 있는 정리 요원은
제게 말을 거는
신속한
건
상황
룰.
준비를
오.
위해 노력해 주십시오.
She glows. And Suzuki Grass, skill 2, base power +1. When this unit equips and uses a sloth base attack skill or Ego skill on its leftmost skill slot, activate the forming a hand effects on the Koi Koi passive. Oh, okay.
이미 입회 중입니다. 제게 말을 거는 건 룰 위반이죠.
What did it say? Koi Koi passive?
이미 입회 중입니다. 제게 말을 거는 건 이미 입회 중입니다. 제게 말을 거는 건 룰 위반이죠.
Okay. So what happens if you do it? So next turn, convert the hand on self to one corresponding to the used skill's affinity. Skill is either Sakura Sen or an ego skill, gain 1 bright. So the skill 3, right? Yeah. Skill's affinity matches the affinity on the current hand's description, thus forming a hand. Activate the following, gain 1 bright potency. This unit formed a hand last turn and this turn in succession, gain 1 bright potency. Oh, so it only takes you 2 turns to gain at least 3 potency, and you have a max of 5. Okay. This unit formed a hand last turn and this turn in succession. I just read that. On hit with said skill, trigger Tremor Burst and reduce target tremor count by 1. 25% chance to gain 1 ego resource corresponding to the skill's affinity. At the skill's skill end, at 5 bright potency or at 0 bright count, use Kozen. Alright, I think we're just gonna have to play her. I'm not sure I understand the last part of that. What the fuck does Allen ID not have any evade? Okay, we got 1. And it has to be... So how many of these brights can you gain per turn? It's not just 1, right? So this turn I should be gaining 2, because we're using a skill 3 as well. Oh, it makes a fucking sound effect. Did you hear that? Dude, it sounded like someone was getting slapped. So we got 3.
이미 입회 중입니다. 제게 말을 거는 건 룰 위반. 이미 입회 중입니다. 제게 말을 거는 건 룰 위반이죠.
Use skill end at 5 bright potency. Use Kozen. So you do just want to build for that. Oh, so you don't even need to use her skill 3 to activate Kozen. Okay. And then I think her defense skill also helps. Combat start, discard 2 skills of the lowest rank in all of this unit's skill slots once per turn. Combat start, the skill is equipped on this unit's leftmost skill slot. Convert the suit in this unit's hand to a random suit that corresponds to one of this unit's base attack skills next turn, once per turn, excluding the suit already in this unit's hand. Combat start, 50% chance to gain 1 bright potency. That's funny. And use compare +1 for every 2 bright potency on self max 2. Oh, she did it. Okay, this ID is sick.
유혈적 폭력 사태의 진압 가능성이 50%를 상회했습니다. 승객 일부의 문제를 감지했으나 워프 열차 연산 시스템은 해당 요소가 큰 문제가 아니라고 판단하고 있습니다. 노고에 감사드립니다.
Yeah, dude, she seems really cool. Honestly, the way she plays, it almost It feels like what I would imagine an index ID to play like, you know?
이것밖에 못하나? 이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가자고요.
Yeah, that's weird. It actually feels exactly what we've talked about an index ID being like. Too dumb to understand the new Ishmael? So you're trying to build up her right potency, and then when you hit above 3, she just uses Kozen. She just gets like a free attack.
유혈적 폭력 사태 발생 중. 열차 내에 남아 있는 정리 요원은 신속한 상황 종료를 위해 노력해 주십시오. 매우 효과적인 청소입니다. 워프 열차 연산 시스템은 해당 행동에 약
Dude, I really like that slap effect.
판단했습니다.
That's so funny.
총알값 아까울 놈은
방금 청소를 수행한 요원께 W사 인재관리 부서에서 자동 승진 추천서가 발부되었음을 안내드립니다. 자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀 있습니다.
It's also important to know that whatever hand she has, it only counts the card that you're playing on your leftmost skill slot for her. Dude, that's so sick. That is never not going to be funny to me. Just a fucking slap effect.
유혈적 폭력 사태의 진압 가능성이 50%를 상회했습니다. 승객 일부의 문제를 감지했으나 워프 열차 연산 시스템은 해당 요소가 큰 문제가 아니라고
So I think this turn she'll just use Kozen because we're at 3 potency.
모범적인 청소 방식을
Wait, Link, does that mean that you ended up getting the new Ishmael? Yeah, see, look at that, she's doing it.
이것밖에 못하나?
She just gets a free attack. That's crazy.
시간은 전부 징수했으니
방금 청소를 수행한 요원께 W사 인재관리 부서에서 자동 승진 추천서가
But you still don't have her?
발부되었음을 안내드립니다. 자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀 있습니다.
Yeah, how was everyone's luck for polls? Yeah, I still can't believe I got the new Ishmael 3 times.
장땡
That's actually insane. Usually what ends up happening every Walpurgis is I just pull like an announcer a million times in a row. That's typically my luck. Damn, dude. So do you think that means I used up all of my luck playing Chaos Zero Nightmare?
폭력 사태 발생 중.
That's actually
열차 내에 남아 있는
tragic.
정리 요원은 신속한 상황 종료를 위해 노력해 주십시오.
말했지? 이런 것도 되죠.
모범적인
What do you mean,
청소 방식을
dance or make an
확인했습니다.
idea with an evade?
군사부서의 해당 요원에 대한 평가를 성신합니다.
To be fair, evade is the most broken defensive skill, so I kind of understand why they don't want to give it to everybody. Wait, so what? Hold on.
특이성 감지 센서.
Does she get like a different sound effect if you don't?
요원 여러분의 활력 징후가 높아짐이
If you don't get it right? Well, now I have to know. Okay, so she's red and we're playing a sloth skill.
조심하랬지?
최대전 집행한다.
각자의 위치가 있으니
You don't get
위험 요소가
any sound
확산된
effects.
것을 감지했습니다. 정리 요원들의 노고에 감사드립니다.
Damn, dude. So it really incentivizes you to play that. And it ended up switching it to sloth. Okay. Interesting. We're gonna experiment a little bit on this gentleman. Still yet to roll, but you sharded both full stops? Hell yeah. Those are good IDs.
매우 효과적인 청소입니다. 워프열차 연산 시스템은 해당 행동의 약 14%의 정리 기여도가 있음을 판단했습니다.
Hey, good luck. Is there anything in particular you're trying to roll for?
특이성 감지 센서, 청소 타입 비확인, 위험 인물이 다소 위축되었을 것으로 판단됩니다.
Aw.
직접 타도하자.
Okay, so just using her counterattack seems like it activated the effect, but
유혈적 폭력 사태의 진압 가능성이
Yeah, 'cause it gave us
50%를
three potency.
상회했습니다. 승객 일부의 문제를 감지했으나
But it didn't activate Koza?
해당 요소가 큰 문제가 아니라고 판단하고 있습니다.
so does the defense skill just not activate that then? I don't know.
탈출 개체 확인. 사물. 앵화.
Any word about the new ID? Big fan of the Ishmael ID. We're still trying to learn it though. I don't think I fully understand her koi koi passive.
사냥감인가 몸이 끓어오.
특이성 감지 센서, 청소 타입 Y 확인, 위험 인물의 활동성이 증가했는지 확인하시길 권장드립니다.
당신 짝패불륜 3월
Her damage is really solid though.
워크율차 연산 시스템은 해당 행동에 약 14%의 정리 기여도가 있음을 판단했습니다.
Okay, so we have to use this.
조심하랬지.
I'm thinking that her counterattack doesn't activate Kozan. Okay, so this put us at 3 potency.
좋아 코이코이
총알까봐 아까울 놈.
특이성 감지 센서 청소 타입 G 확인. 요원 여러분의 활력 징후가 높아짐이 확인됩니다.
Okay, so she'll do Kozan this turn.
당신 짝패불륜
그렇게 서 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
유혈적
Or not?
폭력 사태의 진압 가능성이 50%를 상회했습니다.
Alright, I'm actually really confused now.
워프 열차 연산
How are we doing it
해당 요소가
in, like, the
큰
first
문제가
fight?
아니라고 판단하고 있습니다. 노고에 감사드립니다.
Or maybe you do have to use her skill 3. Well, no, we got it to activate that one time when I used the skill 2, right?
탈출 개체 확인
그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수.
올인이었나요?
모범적인 청소 방식을 확인했습니다. 인사부서에 해당 요원에 대한 평가를送신합니다.
Okay, she did it that time, so maybe it's that you have to get to 3 potency or 0 count, and then you have to match the color. And it never activates with her counterattack. Right, that makes sense to me.
특이성 감지 센서 청소 타입 Y 확인.
It feels like a slow ramp up ID.
증가했는지 확인하시길 권장드립니다.
She feels a lot like gambling, that's for sure.
직접 타도하자.
효과적인 대치가
약화되는 것 같습니다.
워프 열차 연산 시스템은 해당 행동에 약 14%의 정리 기여도가 있음을
See, because it has to be in her leftmost skill slot, and we can't match it. So that means having her as your first ID isn't really a necessity, which that's nice.
약화되는 것 같습니다.
편하게 가자고요.
방금 청소를 수행한 요원께 W4 인재관리
Why do people ask for Eugene Ryoshu?
발부되었음을 안내드립니다. 자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀 있습니다.
I mean, Eugene is like a favorite ID.
조심하랬지.
3월
And then throw on Ryoshu just because it kind of fits.
모범적인 청소 방식을 확인했습니다. 인사부서에 해당 요원에 대한 평가를送신합니다.
3월 앵화
Yujin is a pretty popular character in the lore, and Ryoshi looks like her. Yeah, I'd agree with that too. I think also Ryoshi is a lot of the Japanese aesthetic, and that's also what the Shi is. Like, there are a lot of things that line up with Ryoshi and Yujin.
위험 인물의 활동성이 증가했는지 확인하시길 권장드립니다.
직접 타도하죠. 가속.
이것밖에 못하나.
매우 효과적인 청소입니다. 워프 열차 연산 시스템은 해당 행동에
When is the severe strength gap?
모범적인 청소
No, there's like a lore explanation for that. Like, even if one of the sinners has an ID that's supposed to be so much stronger than, I guess, what they would be capable of, the mirror doesn't necessarily reflect like the ID's strength onto the sinner, right? Because if you remember in Leviathan, when Garnet transforms into, I guess spoilers for anyone who cares, but when he's trying to borrow like the Black Silence, for instance, he can't do Furioso because his body isn't strong enough to do it. So
탈출 개체 확인.
이런 것도 되죠.
일부 위험 요소가 추출된 것을 감지했습니다. 정리 요원들의 노고에 감사드립니다.
But you know, it's actually a good sign too. That means that color IDs are a possibility in the future for sure.
특이성 감지 센서, 청소 타입 Y 확인. 위험 인물의 활동성이 증가했는지 확인하시길
Alright,
권장드립니다.
is this a Kozen moment? Might just die to the skill 3 though.
정당한 공무집행. 사물.
Yeah, look at that. She just gets damage. I don't know. I'm a big fan. How is the new Gregor ID performing? Because on paper, just reading the skills and stuff, it seems like he'd maybe be a bit stronger. Then again, trying to understand Koi Koi is actually proving to be kind of tough.
사건 속으로.
I just really think, like, him being able to just get a free skill when an enemy gets a 20% or lower HP, like, that's pretty strong.
이런 것도 되죠.
Like, I'm actually curious if that might make like the refraction railway runs a little faster by a turn or so.
요원 여러분의 활력 징후가 높아짐이 확인됩니다.
탈출 개체 확인.
I don't know. You're not using him. Running a Blood Fiend run for the lunacy? That's like getting a new toy and just not playing with it. Playing with your other toys instead.
방금 청소를 수행한 요원께 W4 인재관리 부서에서 자동 승진 추천서가 발부되었음을 안내드립니다. 자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀 있습니다.
탈출 개체 확인. 최대전.
5 greens back to back, 3 Gebra, 2 Ishmael, 1 Pierre, and Jack, Magic Bullet Otis Ego, and 2 new Egos all in 140 pulls? What the hell?
A에 거스르지 말고.
Is your luck insane? That's actually crazy. Yeah, what the fuck? You got 3 new Egos? That is pretty low. You might want to go get like a scratch off or something. Just make sure your luck's run out, you know?
전력으로 상대해봐. 그렇게 서 있으면
가자고요.
목이 떨어질 수밖에.
Oops. Clicked on the wrong thing.
장땡. 제압을 준비합니다.
특이성 감지 센서.
You could change Pregger. Is that what we're calling it?
인물의 활동성이 증가했는지
The Pregger
확인하시길
ID.
권장드립니다.
명령에 따르겠습니다.
I mean, that was cool. He's already got the ego, I guess.
3월.
We'll say she feels a little weird
이런 것도 되죠.
being like a Tremor ID. I don't really get that.
모범적인 청소 방식을 확인했습니다. 인사부서에 해당 요원에 대한 평가를 성신합니다. 요원 여러분의 제압으로 성공적 상황 종료 확률이 약 4.188% 상승했습니다. 축하드립니다.
I really like the combat start, 50% chance to gain 1 bright potency once per turn. That's funny.
정당한 공무 집행이다. 벌써 허벅이야? 좋아. 코이코이.
You meant Pregger was never funny?
좋아. 코이코이.
매우 효과적인 청소.
Never?
워프 열차 연산 시스템은 해당 행동의 약 14% 워프 열차 연산 시스템 정리 방식의 선택이 적절했음을 판단했습니다. 훌륭합니다.
I think it's kind of funny.
수행한 요원께 W4 인재관리 부서에서 자동 승진
Although I will
추천서가
admit,
발부되었음을
sometimes
안내드립니다.
memes like that
자세한
are more
내용을
about
적혀
seeing
있습니다.
who doesn't find it funny and then making fun of those people. So watch out.
자의 위치가 있어.
That's part of the trap.
최대전. 완전히 멈춰.
Have no idea is any good or not as good as the ones from last Walpurgis. Alright,
3월.
to be fair, the last 2 Walpurgises have been kind of insane. Because the last one was Magical Girl and Night of Despair, and I don't think anything will ever come close to beating them.
자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀 있습니다.
I don't have the new Gregor, so I don't know. And I don't think the new Ishmael is quite as strong as last Walpurgis.
워프 열차 연산 시스템은 해당 요소가 큰 문제가 아니라고 판단하고 있습니다. 노고에 감사드립니다.
I know I have something, right? Oh, I don't think I have the tier 3 bell. No. Nope, we don't.
사냥감인가? 몸이 끓어오르는.
유혈적 폭력 사태 발생 중.
First time you saw it, you chuckled.
열차 내에 남아 있는 정리 요원은 신속한
I think memes are supposed to kind of be like that. They catch you off guard the first time, and then they gradually get annoying as you see it more and more. Like, alright guys, we need new stuff. I get that.
명령에 따르겠습니다.
God, that sound effect is so fucking funny. And you know, the skill 3 effect is really pretty.
워프 열차 연산 시스템이 정리 방식의 선택이 적절했음을 판단했습니다. 훌륭합니다.
To be fair, it's hard to attribute Hanafuda to any status. Might be a hot take, but you think Tremor should only ever apply to guns or blunt and explosions?
총알값 아까울 만한.
특이성 감지 센서 청소
Yeah.
주의 확인. 요원 여러분의 활력.
I feel like that's something I've always kind of felt too, where Tremor just feels like a little off, like thematically, but not to the point where I like really care, you know. Then again, I don't really know that any of the status effects thematically really make sense. Like, they kind of did at the beginning, you know, like Rupture. You know, Rupture being a part of 7 Association, it was like,
모범적인 청소 방식을
you know,
확인했습니다.
they're specifically aiming for like one spot on a character, making them weaker and stuff, to get that extra fixed damage. But then the Heishou came out. I don't know. I guess they kind of strike from the shadows and stuff, so it makes some sense.
정리
But
요원들의 노고에 감사드립니다.
조심하랬지. 가속.
전력으로 상대해봐.
our bad, those IDs was a month late, so they went all out with making IDs and ego for one of the most fan favorite avenues in the franchise. Yeah, they did do a lot for Love and Hate, Walpurgis.
제압을 준비합니다.
But I think something to keep in mind is that this Walpurgis is like a little bit of a throwaway because they're trying to get the next Kanto out by December. So there's like a trade-off, and I've talked a lot about it, but I kind of just rather have the Kanto earlier, you know?
조심하랬지?
One Kanto a year is a bit insane. Even if they are really good.
매우 효과적인 선수입니다. 워프 열차 연산 시스템은 해당 행동의 약 14%의 정리 기여도가 있음을 판단했습니다. 방금 청소를 수행한
You got
요원께
4 Gebs and the new IDs and 110 polls. You're extremely comfortable. Nice.
자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀
I don't know if you're
있습니다.
here for it, but I got the new Ishmael 3 times.
탈출 개체 확인.
화력, 추진, 피차 동정은 필요
모범적인
And then the
청소
full stop
확인했습니다.
office announcers.
인사부서에 해당 요원에 대한 평가를 상신합니다.
제압 완료.
That's crazy. Is it because I... Do you think it's actually because I said that I wanted the new Ishmael the most? And the director's like, yeah, I got you, man. Give her to you 3 times.
워프 열차 연산 시스템이 정리 방식의 선택이 적절했음을 판단했습니다. 훌륭합니다.
전탄격발.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the sense though that
방금
Lamau?
청소를 수행한 요원께 W사 인재관리 부서에서
Dude, that's like,
자동 승진
imagine
추천서가
walking out onto the
발부되었음을
battlefield,
안내드립니다.
you trip and fall
자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀
into like a
있습니다.
landmine. That's what that was.
사냥감인가?
Bunch of guys in fat suits tripping into
몸이
landmines.
끓어오르는군.
Nice, man. That's a good war.
특이성 감지 센서, 청소 타입 Y 확인. 위험 인물의 활동성이 증가했는지 확인하시기
clashes really well.
권장드립니다.
And you know, because she's Tremor, she's gonna... Like in Mirror Dungeon Extreme, she's gonna be really good too.
조심하랬지?
매우 효과적인 청소입니다. 워프 열차 연산 시스템은
If they aren't that good, it's not like there's anything you need to save for.
의 정리 기여도가 있음을 판단했습니다.
Yeah, that's a good point as well.
이것밖에 못하는.
특이성 감지 센서 청소 타입 G 확인. 요원 여러분의 활력 징후가 높아짐이 확인됩니다.
Because what's the next event? The Refraction Railway Bakgak? And then hopefully into Kanto 9?
당신 짝패군요.
모범적인 청소 방식을 확인했습니다. 인사부서에 해당 요원에 대한 평가를 성신합니다.
완전히 멈춰.
Honestly, if you only knew that we only had 2 months rest before the next Walpurgis, you could have skipped Dawn and Radia inserted them now.
화력, 추진. 짠이 가치가 있으니
Oh, wasn't Love and Despair in July? Or like the end of June?
방금 청소를 수행한 요원께 W사 인재관리 부서에서 자동 승진 추천서가 발부되었음을 안내드립니다. 자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀 있습니다.
I guess it was pretty tough though, going from the Love and Despair Walpurgis right into the Arknights collab. But yeah, pulling for the Arknights collab was, I'd say probably more of a priority.
일부 위험 요소가 회출된 것을 감지했습니다. 정리 요원들의 노고에 감사드립니다. 워프 열차 연산 시스템이 정리 방식의 선택이 적절했음을 판단했습니다. 훌륭합니다.
이런 것
것도 되지.
방금 청소를 수행한
I think both
요원께
Ishmael and Gregor are really
W사
good.
인재관리 부서에서
I think Ishmael's damage output's pretty nice, and just her clashing in general is really good.
서면에 적혀 있습니다.
And obviously it's Ishmael, so you know, top tier.
전격발.
When Gregor's direct synergy with oh, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, he finally has a Tremor ID. What the fuck? I completely spaced that. That was like a joke I made when Unbrilliant Glory came out. I was like, yeah, too fucking bad he doesn't have a Tremor ID. Now he does.
명령하신 임무를 완료했습니다.
And I don't have him. Oh my gosh. But this is actually tragic.
자, 판
This might be the
돌아갑니다.
worst Walpurgis just because of that.
특이성 감지 센서, 청소 타입 Y 확인. 위험 인물의 활동성이 증가했는지 확인하시길 권장드립니다.
당신 짝패군요. 3월 앵화.
I think the new units are worth to pull. I don't really think there's anything else to save up for at the moment, so
매우 효과적인 흡수입니다. 워프 열차 연산 시스템은 해당 행동.
I really want to make the joke of like, well, if you have good taste in sinners, then yeah. I don't know, do we have any thoughts on what the next Walpurgis is even going to
요원
be?
여러분의 활력 징후가 높아짐이 확인됩니다.
받아볼 텐가.
이런 것도 되지.
Imagine the next one they finally do Porcupus Ishmael,
청소 방식을 확인했습니다.
and then I don't have enough for it.
해당 요원에 대한 평가를 확인합니다. 방금 청소를 수행한 요원께 W사 인재관리 부서에서 자동 승진 추천서가 발부되었음을 안내드립니다. 자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀 있습니다.
Funny enough, you said you really wanted the Gebra and got her 4 times, so maybe there's a correlation. Dude. Is that like the curse?
진단 상태에서 비효율적 정리 방식을 감지했습니다. 다른 방식을 고려해 보시는 것을 권장합니다. 방금 청소를 수행한 요원께 W사 인재관리 부서에서 자동 승진 추천서가 발부되었음을 안내드립니다. 자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀 있습니다.
Alright, now we get Kozen. Oh, we got 5 potency as well. Oh, and we finally got the full animation. Okay. I didn't know it could go up to 5 coins. What the hell was that? Alright, maybe I need to reread that.
방금 청소를 수행한 요원
'Cause that was insane. That was actually
인재관리
insane.
부서에서 자동 승진 추천서가 발부되었음을 안내드립니다. 자세한 내용은 서면에 적혀 있습니다.
Let's see, what am I missing? don't want that tier 3. We're getting that this floor. Should change the announcer. I mean, I haven't heard the full stop office. We'll see what they sound like.
자,
See if they're
판도가
yappers or
갑니다.
not. I feel like Direction Railway 1 Bakak is going to be a slaughter. I'm really curious on what they're on, if they're going to change anything about it. I hope they do. See, my idea is that if they change it, they make everyone use only the IDs that were available when that Bakak came out. But they like make those IDs free to everybody.
당신 짝패군요.
Oh yeah, I need to read her Zàng.
최대 전기. 집행한다.
Fish mill dog shit or goated. I think Link was right that she's like a ramp up ID and she's going to be really good for longer fights.
임무 시작.
패턴을
이미
파악하는 게 중요해.
개중입니다. 제게
집중
말을
잃지
거는
말라고.
건 룰 위반이죠.
그리고 일단 시작하면 끝나기 전까지 갈기는 거지.
Oh yeah, this is actually kind of funny. The skill does not trigger defense skills and external effects cannot trigger this skill to be reused. So meaning that the commemorative coin ego gift can't make this go off twice. I guess they learned their lesson from Lord Liu. So let's see. So on use at 3 plus bright potency, gain the following effects based on potency. Per 1 potency, the skill deals plus 10% damage, so it can go up to 50%. At 4 plus potency, base power plus 1. At 5 potency, on hit with the final reuse coin, trigger tremor burst 2 times, then reduce target's tremor count by 1. Okay, so here it is. Reuse this coin, bright potency minus 1 times, 4 times max. On hit, inflict tremor count, sinking, and heads hit 1 defense level down. I mean, I guess Kozan really isn't that broken then, is it? But it's all, this is all free damage. Up to plus 50%. With the base power, so it's 4 to 30 as like just a free hit. I don't know, that seems pretty strong.
직접 타도하죠.
So we just need to figure out how to get it
일부가 터져버렸어.
to activate
잘 돼.
faster.
이제 신경 쓰이던 부분도 해소되려.
집행한다.
Seems like it usually takes at least 3 turns to ramp up to it. I don't know, she's really not bad. I think she's definitely an ID you have to figure out though.
됐네. 지금 쏴버려.
이럴
The hell was that?
천천히 해.
Oh, is that the wine?
그냥 부서진 데다가 다 박으면 안 돼?
One just came in and exploded. And another thing too that I think I kind of skipped
제게 말을
over.
거는 건 룰 위반이죠.
Is that when you're trying to form your hand, how would it say it? When this unity equips and uses a Wrath base attack skill or Ego skill in its leftmost slot. Which we actually have all the colors we need for it too. It's actually not that hard to activate the effect to build up Kozan.
당신 짝패군요. 3월 앵화.
효력사.
Skill 3 just gives you the 1 potency for free.
화력. 추진. 피차 동정은 필요 없겠죠.
Conflicted if you should pull or not. Man, the Gacha curse, huh? There's commemorative coin.
입회한다.
분위기가 좀.
Yeah, I guess it is a little weird.
뭐라도 먹었나?
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
Okay, well, 12 to 24, huh? Yeah, so this will activate Bright.
당신 짝패군요.
That'd actually give us 2 potency.
자, 이쪽입니다.
효력사. 좋아.
Oh, whoops.
이쪽입니다.
오, 적합한 판단이었어.
Oh, so maybe that's part of her gimmick too, is weaving in using ego skills, because she also one of her passives gives her sanity if she flips tails. Okay.
저런 사람을 영입해야 하는 건데.
사무실 직원은 재정 여유는 없고.
You got Ishmael? Nice. I got her 3
한
times.
단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군. 직접 타도하죠.
Wait, what?
자,
Okay, why did that build 3? I'm actually very confused. I was confused before.
이쪽입니다.
What in the hell?
동정은 필요 없겠죠.
Do you also gain Bright if you discard? I have no clue, man.
벌써 버벅이나? 대체가 약화되는 것 같습니다.
총알값 아까울 놈.
Oh no, because you get them in succession as well. That was part of it. I remember that. Where did I read that? Yeah, if this unit formed a hand last turn and this turn in succession, gain 1 Bright potency. So you can build the max 5 stacks to use Kozan in 2 turns. Okay. Alright, I'm understanding the ID more, and she actually seems kind of insane.
정당한 공무 집행이다.
Maybe it could be Yellow Brick Road IDs, like Warm-Hearted Hearthcliff.
피차
Hurt
동정은
clip.
필요 없겠죠.
올인이었나요?
Wait, what?
타겟 제거 확인.
How is she already up to 4 again?
마음은 놓지 말고.
Alright, yeah, she's built for longer fights. For sure.
당신 짝패군요. 내가 찾은 나만의 항해 방식. 어? 내가 찾은 나만의 항해 방식. 타겟 제거 확인.
명령에 따르겠습니다.
그렇게 서 있으니 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
She'd be looking kind of cool though. Yeah, I really like her animations and that sound effect. Give me the spray. Is Gregor new ID? I didn't pull him.
사건
I
속으로
pulled Ishmael 3 times.
분위기가 좋네. 뭐 좋은 거라도 먹었나?
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
조심하랬지.
최대전. 집행한다.
효력사. 좋아.
계속하면 되겠네.
Damn your luck.
추진.
Yeah, you're telling me
시가 있으니
well, you know, and yeah, I'm really happy that I got Ishmael. She was the one I wanted.
분위기 좋은데?
지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠고.
명령에 따르겠습니다.
전격발.
Eve unit based on Koikoi is hilarious to you.
적합한 판단이었어?
Is that like actually a good card game or no?
적을 잘 관찰하는
Or is it a
게
card?
좋은
Actually, I guess I don't know. What the hell is Koikoi?
이건 어떻게 해볼 수 있는 상대.
Okay, yeah, it is a card game.
아, 힘의 차이가 너무 심한데? 조졌네. 문도 궁금한 건데. 내가 만약에 저렇게 강한
이미
걸 맞고
배중입니다.
너덜너덜해지면 어쩔
제게
거야?
말을 거는 건
두고 가야지.
룰 위반이죠.
별수 없다.
예상한 대로긴 한데.
이미
Hold on.
배중입니다. 제게
Why?
말을 거는 건 룰 위반이죠.
Huh. I feel like she should be up to 5 this turn, but she's not.
직접 타도하죠. 이런 것도 되죠.
이것밖에 못하나.
Is it a definitive guide to Koikoi? What does it say? Koikoi is a competitive trick-taking Japanese card game using a traditional 48-card Hanafuda deck. Dude, that's so cool. Dude, I love that Kozan effect, man. She...
타겟 제거 확인.
긍정적인 신호다. 마음은 놓지 말고.
You know, I guess the real question with this ID is it better than Zwei
알아볼 테니.
Ishmael? Ooh, that's actually a tough one. I don't know.
이라도 말 들어.
I feel like her damage is a little better.
타겟 제거 확인.
긍정적인 신호다. 마음은 놓지 말고.
Because to be fair, it is kind of difficult to compete with free hits.
최대 전기. 집행한다. 완전히 멈췄나. 체납한 시간은 전부 징수했으니 상관없지.
Did I get the Gebra announcer? No. I wanted Hanafuda Ishmael and the Gebra announcer, and I got one. Which is weird. Traditionally, for my Walpurgis polls, I usually get the announcers more than anything. But not this time, so I don't know what happened. I don't know if that means my luck got better or worse.
명 받았습니다.
임무 시작.
Hanafuda decks, that's how they got their
파악하는
name.
게 중요해.
Is this Ishmael also a tank? No.
그리고 일단 시작하면
Nah.
끝나기 전까지 갈기는 거지.
Well, I think we crush here. I'll never look at Crushbound the same way again.
명령에 따르겠습니다.
Which I feel out of context, that probably sounds insane.
슬픔에 흔들린 마음
But if you know, you know.
터져버리죠. 슬픔에 흔들린 마음 이렇게 터져버리죠.
사격도 적재적소에 알맞은 판을 써야 하는 법이지.
I should look at is Koi Koi fun?
빛도 남겼지
여기만
않게
해당하는 얘기는 아닐 거야.
관측원 시간부터 계산 완료. 축적된 과거 변형, 모먼트값 유지, 발사.
Yes, Koi Koi is considered fun. Yes, because it blends skill and luck.
자, 이쪽입니다.
Hey man, this is weird.
오, 적합한 판단이었어.
There must be something in her kit too about
적을 잘 관찰하는 게 중요해.
like building more bright based on what you use, because I don't think she ever gets 2 potency whenever you use her skill 1. But I get 2 potency when I use an ego skill,
제가 어떻게 보일까요?
which is odd.
시간을 태워가는 그 답이 있을까요? 임무 시작.
패턴을 파악하는 게 중요해. 집중 잃지 말라고.
그리고 일단 시작하면 끝나기 전까지 갈기는 거지.
조심하랬지.
최대 전기.
You know what, this usually replaces Y unless you don't need a tank on your team.
조력사.
I feel like you usually don't need a tank.
이런 것도 되죠.
No, this ID has both like clashing and damage to it though, which I think makes it a little better than Zwei Ishmael.
패턴을 파악하는 게 중요해. 집중 잃지 말라고.
그리고 일단 시작하면 끝나기 전까지 갈기는 거지.
직접 타도하죠.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요. 이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
가속.
3월.
Like, dude, that's crazy damage. Into Kozan? Holy shit, that's actually so cool. I don't know, man. I think she's better than Zwei Ishmael.
도박장죄로 의뢰를 냈다 싶더니 이렇게나 밑장 빼는 놈들이 한가득.
I did have her in the first skill slot, so I don't know if this is a good representation of her damage, but...
사무소 놓았네.
Oh, we get to gamble one more time, chat. What was this? Just one ticket? Oh, there's a Claymore. Completely missed it. Yeah, this isn't bad. How long do we have? 2 weeks? Alright, chat. Do you feel it? Do you feel Gregor? Is he about to come home? Truly. Okay, well, fuck. Can I even build up two more poles in 2 weeks? 2 more 10 poles? Oh no, I actually don't know. Guess it depends. How many tickets do you think they put in here? Oh, there's a 10 pole. Do you wish you could feel Gregor? With like cockroach arm. Alright, so I can get the 20 poles. Here, let me put her on my company. So if you have me added, you can use her. And then let's go beat up Lahang. I don't want to see if I can borrow the new Gregor just to try him out. See how he feels.
가시죠.
걸목.
가볼까요?
That is a
오실 때까지.
sound effect.
바로 가지. 준비되었습니다.
징수 시간이다.
Use wasted your Keflin on excavation skips. Oh, maybe I should do that.
전략 분석을 하고 있어. 응원하라고 쓰여 있는데.
That's smart. That's a smart thing to do, chat.
전장에 집중하는 게 좋겠군. 개죽음 당하기 싫다면 말이지.
Oh yeah, Alan had a scar on his forehead too, didn't he? Flashable Guard. Combat start for this turn. Increase the number of times Mercedes can be used when triggered by the effect of Purge Enforcer of the Famigli. That's a word. To 2 per turn.
정당한 공무 집행.
이건 어떻게 해볼 수 있는 상대가 아닌 것 같고.
아, 힘의 차이가 너무 심한데. 늦었네.
시간이
Kanto achievements are cancer. Imagine having but one of the required IDs to finish it.
다소 슬프고
That does suck. You know, on the bright side is we figured out, was it the last stream when I finished the Mirror Dungeon achievements? The banner you get for actually doing all the achievements, you know, the completion banner,
총알까봐
isn't even the one with effects to it, so who cares, really?
지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의료
Not even the one that looks cool. Ah, she doesn't get a clash? That sucks. Unfortunate.
전장에 집중하는 게 좋겠군. 개죽음 당하기 싫다면 말이지.
정당한 공무 집행이다.
You finally gave Gregor his first Tremor ID since, I don't know. No, the only other Tremor ID that he technically has is the Rose Spanner. But that ID is such... it's so bad. It's just the worst thing ever. Dude, imagine getting kicked in the back of the head by that. That's actually pretty gruesome.
쪼까는 청할까봐 까올 놈들은 아닌가 보네.
나라면 인원들을 좀 더 후방에 배치하겠어.
아니 뭐
That gave him open
전략 분석을 하고
wound.
있어. 응원하라고 쓰여 있는데.
Turn in, gain 1 bind next turn. Well, that's actually really good for this fight.
정당한 공무 집행이다.
You have no lunacy and you must scream. I feel that.
보라고 서 있으면 못 떨어진다.
You know, that is kind of crazy. I'm 2 pulls away from at least guaranteeing the new Gregor. I might have to wait a whole week.
집행한다.
Damn, dude, the animations are really good. Big fan. Big fan.
나라면 인원들을
I don't know,
좀 더
between the two new IDs, which one do you guys
전략
prefer?
분석하라고 있어. 응원하라고 쓰여 있는데.
Dude, I gotta go with Ishmael.
이미 배중입니다.
The Kozan
제게 말을
attack
거는 건 룰 위반이죠.
just looks so damn cool. It might be the coolest thing Project Moon's ever done. Yes, now he's up to Deep Wound. Alright, that looks cool. What the hell? So on Tremor Burst, gain +1 bleed count 2 times per turn. Cannot gain open wound and focus encounters the parts. Cannot gain open wound. So instead of open wound, does it just stack more deep wounds? Or how do you get this up to fatal?
전쟁에 집중하는 게 좋겠군. 개죽음 당하기 싫다면 말이지.
So execution, before use, the target has deep wound, activate the Knight's Owl. Oh. Is that what does it? Yeah, on hit, convert target's deep wound into fatal. Oh, cool. Okay, so we get to see that.
탈출 개체 확인.
Oh, and we're activating Kozan this turn.
내가 찾은 나만의
Dude,
항해
hell
방식.
yes.
돌아올 서 있으면 목 떨어진다.
총옥바퀴. 코코.
오, 적합.
Hey, that's just a free 200 damage, by the way.
강단 빈틈.
이것밖에 못.
Alright, that animation was a little goofy.
자세가 멀어졌네.
Oh, there's Mercedes. Just a free hit.
큰거 하나 쓸란게.
지금 쏘냐?
자석은 깨지
한 발이면
말아야.
충분해.
우리 의뢰가 아니잖아.
Tremor Hemorrhage. On Tremor Burst, take less damage equal to sum of Tremor potency and bleed. Potency divided by 2 and lose 1 bleed count. Fatal Wound. Again, the dagger through the heart. On Tremor Burst, gain +3 bleed count 2 times per turn. Oh, so Fatal Wound and Hemorrhage go hand in hand really well. So anytime you inflict Tremor Burst, you're losing 1 bleed count from Hemorrhage, but because of Fatal Wound, you're actually applying +3 bleed count 2 times per turn. Oh, that's crazy.
받아볼 텐가.
허수라도
Yeah, just all the free damage is
여행에는
just too good. Actually insane. Look at his speed. Yeah, we hit him with Snag Harpoon. Peanut damage.
시작.
하고 나올게. 이짝도 달아오르는구만.
집중 잃지 말라고.
그리고 일단
이미
시작하면
배중입니다. 제게
끝나기
말을 거는
전까지
건
갈기는 거죠.
룰
Still gloom based.
빠르게 처리하지.
Alright, this is how you actually do it.
전력으로 상대. 전탄격발.
보라고 서 있으면 목 떨어진다.
Oh, you know what? I should have put an corporate issue on this team.
허술하군.
최대전 집행한다.
That way we could actually keep some bleed potency with our count. Yeah, I don't know. I like this, like, 2 status effect tremor teams.
그런 것도 되죠.
They're really interesting. Yeah, like, he just got a ton of bonus damage.
시방 큰거 하나 쓸랄게.
패턴을 파악하는 게 중요해.
Uh-oh.
깨지
집중
말이야.
잃지 말라고.
Oh, I didn't time this well at all.
끝나기 전까지 갈기는 거죠.
What is she, yellow? Actually, like, none of this matters, does it? Because he's just faster. It's not like this skill's even gonna go off.
빠르게 처리하지.
슬픔에 흔들린 마음 이렇게 터져버리죠. 호랑이를 잡으려고 그랬으면 누구도 잡아 맥힐 각오를 했어야지.
Really, a lot of these IDs are kind of mediocre. What, you mean these two? I don't think they're that bad. In fact, Hanafuda Ishmael
파악하는 게 중요해.
has grown on me.
집중 잃지
I'm a
말라고.
big fan.
그리고 일단 시작하면
Maybe
끝나기
the
전까지
biggest.
갈기는 거죠.
Like 7 to 28? Catching Lahang. You know, the Night Owl, like, looking Gregor doing the kicks and stuff, did look a little goofy.
탈출 개체 확인.
Just a little bit. And you know, the thing is it's because I can't imagine, like, anybody in real life actually doing successive kicks like that. And, like, and not looking weird, you know? I just don't think it's possible.
산콕
He's got that kind of balance.
어차피 똘지도 못하는데 몇 발이나 쏟아보자는 거야.
자세가
Got him. Lahang down.
나를 여기까지 모은 것도 징한 일이다.
Kapkov Cheat Faust. She's kind of awkward. I'll agree with that. She Faust is awkward, but she's not bad. She has two different play styles where one of them is so dependent on the actual fight you're doing that if you use it otherwise, it just seems like her whole kit just seems awful, you know. Alright, so how many do I need? We need to spend 1,200.
필요한 시간은 전부 징수되었다.
How much is 6? That's like 120, so we need to do this 10 times.
완벽하진 않지만 하달하신 명령은
필요한 시간은 전부 징수되었다.
일단 시작한 집행 방해에 대한 처벌은
좋아. 예상보다 시간을 더 소모했.
발명품이 잘.
일단 시작한 집행 방해에 대한 처벌.
그러니까 재밌게
Korea.
놀아가시기나 하지. 왜 승질을 부려서 이 꼴을 내나요? 아휴. 이 돈은 이번 입회 규칙에 따라 처리해두겠습니다.
Alright, there's the 10. Do we need the other...
주인 없는 돈이 생겼을 때 입회인이
Should we just finish this
늘려서 계약할 거야.
like right now, chat? I could do the polls now, actually. Alright, 190. Gregor, my boy. Alright, now if I pull him on the 200th, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We can get 5 more tickets, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, what? Okay, yeah. So we can get another 10 tickets. We finish the event.
자, 계약 완수라고.
제압 작업은 이것으로 완료하면 되겠군요.
일단 시작한 집행 방해에 대한 처벌은 내가 아니.
좋아. 예상보다
Yeah,
시간을 더
what I do for a
소모했지만
Walpurgis ID, am I right?
해야 해.
발명품이 잘.
일단 시작한 집행 방해.
완벽하진 않지만 하달하
필요한 시간은 전부 징수되었다.
만족스러운 활동이었어요.
발명품이.
영맥이 없군. 겨우 이 정도의 작자들이었나. 일단 시작한 집행 방해에 대한 처벌은 내가 아니더라도 반드시.
I've seen people who read and have good teams still struggle with the fight even now. So honestly, these aren't the most tragic nerfs. Oh no, did you guys start talking about the Lahang nerf? Oh no. Yeah, nah, he didn't need nerfed. I feel like an issue that's never really talked about is how okay. It's how okay. So let me set it up this way. The people who want the nerfs and stuff are the people who play the updates right as they come out, right? So these are people who are very invested in the game, you know, people like myself. And they're playing it and they get stuck on a fight. And I think the worry that a lot of people have is that they're going to get spoiled for like the rest of the Kanto if they can't beat that fight, you know? And so they're like, ah, fucking nerf it, man. I gotta see what the hell happens next. I don't want anybody to tell me. And so they freak out about it. And no one ever really talks about that. But do I get the announcer instead? Alright, we got him.
그칠 무렵에는 이 골목을 영영.
We got my boy.
나는 아직 살고 싶거든. 검지, W사, 시협회, 소문대로 다양한 기술을 사용하는 것. 하지만 어떤 상대라도
Wait,
그들의
what?
빈틈은 있기 마련이지.
Is he just talking about fighting
희망이.
the She, W Corp, and the Index? What the hell was that? The boss at the Thumb Summit, huh? Got it. Thanks for the warning. Oh no. So he's getting warned about being eradicated, right? Carry your name to the grave, even if we end up getting purged. Resting his gaze on the skyscrapers outside the window, the child lit his cigar. I can see the invitation. Told him to watch his mouth since the Thumb Sotokappa would be attending the summit. And yet, he's finally done it, and it couldn't have been a more spectacular fail, too. Syndicates that swarm into a collapsed wing all have similar interests. Lay claim to at least one of the many alleyways of the back streets, and keep a tight grip on it until they can sell it to a new L Corp that will one day rise as a wing. The Thumb's probably set its sights on these parts if what in the hell? Bimiglia, Laterano, and the Kurikumo clan are pulling back. The set Famigli ain't getting pushed out though, which can only mean that the leading member syndicates still get to keep their cuts. Subsidiaries like us are the ones breaking backs, only for the Thumb to swoop in and stake its ground. As for our hot-blooded boss, guess he just couldn't help asking why we gotta pull out empty-handed. The Night Owls, which the child is a member of, was one of the syndicates vying to claim their slice of the pie in the absence of the collapsed L Corp, all with the Thumb's permission, of course. However, they were forced to take their hands off the whole business simply at the whim of the Capo di Capi, the Padrino of the Thumb. Perhaps he thought it too unfair. The leader of the Night Owls couldn't hold his temper in check and asked the one question he should never have dared to ask. What difference did he hope to make by second-guessing the Padrino's intentions? A bit of careless talk, and we're suddenly painted red for the purge. Hard to believe the same unease I felt back when we were the enforcers of the purge is happening for real. Anyone outside? Committed subordinate. Yes, Capitano. Send up the remaining crew to my office. And make sure to let them know what I'm about to say. Don't leave out a single word. Child gathered up what was remaining of the crew at headquarters. Not the ones outside. He couldn't let the Thumb find out that the Night Owls had been forewarned. No sense in dying for the ones who are already doomed, he told himself. Is everyone here? You all must have heard about what happened at the Thumb Summit. We all knew the boss had a habit of jumping the gun, but none of us even had an inkling it'd turn out like this. Can't wrap my head around it. To think he had the audacity to question the Capo di Capi's intentions. Is it our turn to get purged now? After everything we did to purge the other syndicates, how could it possibly turn on us? It wasn't surprising at all that the rank and file started to blame their dead boss. Well, I mean, it's literally his fault. Why couldn't you be our boss, Capitano? He's thinking about shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I can't deny it was that young streak of his that helped us expand this far. Me? I like being out in the field, getting a little action. The boss might have been impatient as hell, but damn if he didn't know how to keep us in business. For now, we gotta think of ways to stay alive. We can spit on the boss's grave later, once we've saved our own necks. How about we cut through Elcorp's nest and get to the other side of the back streets before the heat catches on? Fortunately enough, it was raining in District 12. The nest of Elcorp, shrouded in a thick blanket of fog following its collapse, was a perfect place to move without drawing eyes. Any thoughts on where to go from there? How about V-Corp? I heard some kind of monster tore through their nest and left it looking like a butcher's floor. The whole place is a real mess. Oh, he's talking about the crying children, Philip. That's awesome. By now, though, there should be somewhere we can stay holed up if we can get there. Not a bad idea. But the question is, how do we even get there? Elcorp's nest and back streets have long turned into a hellhole where all kinds of pests come crawling in. Some subsidiaries like us, Harcorp, and even the Liu Association are all stirring the place up like vultures on a carcass. One wrong move, and we'd be dead before we even managed to get away. I say we lay low till sundown. We could use the night in the back streets as cover to get out. Wings may collapse, but don't forget that nests are still out of reach for sweepers. Oh yeah, true. Getting out of Elcorp's nest is one thing. Getting away from waves of sweepers when we're dead on our feet is another. So there's really no way out. Everyone at their wits' end, a stifling silence fell upon the room. Oh, there's Pablo, little cockroach. I didn't see him. But the child remembered that they still had a way out. His instincts kept screaming that this might be jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. However, the fact was the night owl simply had no other choice. Child's decision was already swaying toward the only exit available. We go to the library. Managed to get an invitation? No, it was already on my desk when I heard what happened to the boss. As if we were being summoned there. Though the child's knowledge was by no means necessary for the collection of the one true book. Yeah, because he's a general invite. That's funny. I still hope that the library had a bookshelf to house the child's desperation for survival. Because that's why I'd had the invitation given to him. That's our Capitano's order. We follow. Drop the formalities. We're on the same boat. We don't have the time to mind the thumb's rules between us at this point. Just speak up if you have any suggestions. We need all the ideas we can get if we want to increase the odds of our survival. Going to the library is way too risky. Word is, even grade 1 fixer offices are backing out of any contracts that have to do with the library. Imagine those money hounds actually eating penalty fees just to stay away. Wait, they get hit with penalty fees? Oh, I didn't know that. For not taking contracts? That's crazy. Not just the fixer offices, even the fingers are calling it a graveyard. There were index proselytes who went missing there not long ago. Oh yeah, this is something I didn't mention, but Alan Gregor here, this is a Star of the City level general invitation, so the index, huh? Of course, the index. Now that I think about it, they went to the library too. If there's any truth to that rumor, Might be able to gather valuable intel on the index in the library. The book of the index. That would be bargain enough for the thumb to overlook our boss's insolence. Are you sure about this? There's not much time left before we're purged to the last man. Those of you who are thinking of backing out, now's the time. I'm going to put my name on the invitation. It's been an honor, Capitano. Hope we meet again someday, Capitano. Hope you'll survive no matter what. Some of the crew bowed deeply to the child and left the office. Trust in your judgment. Rumors always get blown up. Library, eh? Pretty confident we can bring it down. Hell no. The majority, on the other hand, stayed and waited for the child to sign the invitation. Let's set off. I thought the rumors were exaggerated. Guess there's a reason they call it the library. Never imagined it'd be this massive. Library director. Greetings, dear guests. May you find your book in this place. Figured nothing really phases you past a certain age. To think that a fixer in the Uniform Machi Association South Section would know or would show off Kurikumo's sword technique. That's so cool. So it's saying that one of the pages one of the librarians is using is the Shi Association, but they're using Kurikumo cards. And is that our corp's combat style this time? Color me surprised. That's a weird deck build. With calm and calculated footwork, the child slid past the gleaming arc of an assistant librarian's orange blade. A sudden thrust attack immediately followed, but the child sidestepped it and pressed into his opponent's outstretched arms. Floor of history had a single opening to strike. However, the child's pointed peg leg, which sparked as it raked across the floor, was blocked before it could pierce through the opponent's neck. Are you alright, Capitano? Not in the slightest. Thought we at least had some fighting chance when we took down the Index proselyte wielding Liu Association's flames. Sounds like a good build. How many of us are still standing? Half of our men are dead. These librarians, the rumors have got nothing on these monsters. Shouldn't we just call it quits and cut our losses? These bastards are no monsters. They're humans just like us. Humans who are afraid of getting killed. We must have a gap or two we can exploit. Oh, exploit the gap. For an instant, a surge of emotion cracked the child's mask of composure before he impaled the librarian, killing them. Couldn't be me. Perhaps it was the sight of their unflinching leader fighting that inspired them. Because the rest of the crew charged into battle once more, the firm grip on the hilt of their stilettos a testament to their renewed morale. Those freaks, how'd they get so much power? Why did we have to take the fall? Yeah. Predictably though, whatever hope they managed to muster came to a rather grisly end. Every time the curtains closed. Some of them would be squashed flat by a giant teddy bear, gnawed and torn apart by frenzied fairies, and roasted alive in giant pyres. So the ego pages. In the end, the last man left standing was the child. Yeah, it's going smooth. It's too soon to be rejoicing, though. Too soon, huh? Yeah, it's too soon to give up. I didn't come all this way just to snuff it. like a damn dog. The outcome wouldn't change no matter how hard the child fought against the odds. But that shouldn't suggest that the child's struggles were meaningless, because the emotion fueled by his determination must have become ample sustenance for the library. Also really funny. So that's a game mechanic where the more emotion levels that your opponent gains throughout a fight, when you kill them, you get more of their books. So now let the child press on. May his resolve never waver, even as the end draws near. Let us watch him together through the window. I really love all the callbacks to Ruina. Yeah, it's such a good game. Oh, weird combination. Clearly they're using Graze of the Grass. Was that a common one to put on? What was it? They're talking about an index, right? Or no, Sheet Association. I don't remember Graze the Grass being good for them. Let me check. Oh, on use restore 1 light and gain 3 charge. I mean, the light restore is good. I don't know. Charge on She Association? You're gonna sleep? Thanks for hanging out. Hope your polls and stuff went well. Oh yeah, I guess running away did nothing to unseal our blank. Hey. Then here, let me put Gregor in my company now. I will test them all out with the mirror dungeon run. Alright, this seems like a pretty cracked team. How do we actually use these IDs properly, the 2 new ones? So I think they belong in drummer teams, because they, at least the Ishmael one, she has amplitude convergence. I'll check the Gregor one. I don't think he does. He has something for tremor. Oh yeah, so the deep wound status. So on tremor burst, gain +1 bleed count 2 times per turn. Oh, he does have amplitude convergence. Okay. Yeah, he's got the tremor hemorrhage. So yeah, both of these IDs go on tremor teams first and foremost. Your goal with the Gregor ID is to inflict fatal wounds and then use his skill 3. Or no. You inflict deep wounds and then use his skill 3 to convert it into fatal wounds. And the way you do that, the way you inflict deep wound is these are stacks, right? So each of his skills inflicts open wounds. When you get max stack of open wound, it turns into the deep wounds. And then as you inflict more open wound, those instead go to deep wounds. And then at base 3, you can get those converted into fatal. Which then he has a really big skill 3 attack to go with that. Now, Ishmael is way more complicated. And I think it's easier to see what she does, like, in a fight. So we'll do that.
제압을 준비합니다.
분위기 좋은데?
Okay.
지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
So Ishmael, and I'm gonna preface this with I don't think I fully understand, or like I'm missing one thing. Okay. So Ishmael, at the start, she'll have like one of these suits, right? And you want to match her base skill of the leftmost slot to that suit, and what that does is it builds your stacks of bright. Okay. And what you want to do is build bright up to 5 stacks, and that'll activate this bonus attack called Kozan. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I guess kind of just that, you know. You just match the suits. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're matching with a skill. You can also use an ego skill of the same affinity. And that'll build the stacks too. Doesn't seem too complicated. Yeah, I guess I dumbed it down. There's some more like weird stuff with. Oh, she does gain 2. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's not that bad.
받아볼 테니까. 이런 것도 되지 않아.
올인이었나요?
빈틈 투성이가.
Stiletto. Yeah, dude, just look at him go. Oh, I should actually check out his passives. I didn't do that.
전장에 집중하는 게 좋겠군.
상태가 안 좋군.
개죽음
지금
당하기
공격에
싫다는
들어가는 게
말이지.
유효하겠어.
When this unit kills an enemy or breaks a part, gain 2 Pierce power up next turn once per turn. Using a base attack skill, this unit's speed is faster than the target's inflicted defense power down on the target for every 2 speed difference max 2. After ally attack using base attack skills, if the enemy core is 20% or less HP, use Mercy on the target once per turn. There's only one surviving enemy after an attack. This passive also activates when the target is staggered.
빠르게 처리하지.
기가 튀기. 탈출 조치가 정리되었습니다. 3월.
자세가 뭐냐면 자비에 감사하다. 빈틈투성이군.
I think there's also like one other thing with Ishmael too. Yeah, there's also this turn start, lose one stack.
자, 판 돌아갑니다.
Because I noticed something else that happens. So the bright count
분위기 좋은데?
starts off at 3, right?
높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수
제게
있게.
말을 거는 건 룰 위반이죠.
I think when he hits 0, it also activates Kozan. So you don't. So it's either you hit the 5 stacks of bright within 3 turns, or it just uses Kozan. So. She's kind of weird.
당신 짝패군요.
So units are dog shit? Nah, they have really good damage to them.
아까는 대단했어.
한 사람이 낼 수 있는 일격으로서는 감탄할 수준이었지.
And I think the fastest way to build the bright stacks is you have to have the blue colored suit. I mean, it's gotta be, I don't know, there was one weird turn that I had in a fight where I managed to gain 3 bright stacks in one turn, and I don't know how I did that. I'm actually so confused by that. But essentially, she just gets free damage.
여기 확대해봐.
상태가 안 좋군. 지금 공격에 들어가는 게 유효하겠어.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없.
Fun equals dog shit? I feel like if you're gonna say an idea is dog shit, you should probably say why.
효력사.
I mean, what am I supposed to do with that, man?
계속하면 되겠네.
자세가 뭐냐면 자비에 감사하다. 여기가 네 약점인가?
탈출 개체가 정리됐습니다.
이런 건 구경하기도 어려운데 대단한 걸.
나중에 분석해볼 만한 가치가 있겠어.
And you know, I did test them out fighting Lehang, and this team actually did really well against him.
빈틈투성이군.
So you notice how she was at only 4 bright stacks there, and then Kozan just went off.
뚫지도 못하는데 몇 발이나 쏟아부으려는 거야. 가속.
Alright, I think we might have overkilled this guy just a little bit. Oh man, I actually really think these IDs are good. Like, they just have free damage. Also, Gregor finally having Tremor ID means that Unbrilliant Glory is usable now.
자, 판 돌아갑니다.
분위기가 좋네. 뭐 좋은 거 먹었나?
But you know, honestly, that's kind of the biggest win out of all of this. Did I pull the Gebra announcer? No, I managed to break my streak of pulling announcers. Let's see, what else is really good about these IDs? Oh, their clashing is very good. Didn't Gregor have Rose Spanner ID too? Yeah, we talked about that, but Rose Spanner just really isn't that good. I would say,
분위기 좋은데?
honestly, it's like barely usable as an ID. I mean, I guess we could get this going now.
나선 속을 벗어날 수는 없다.
눈부시지 않다고 두려워하지 마.
Hey, Paint.
경멸스럽.
How are you doing? How did the polls go? Oh, you missed the shit show.
지금 쏘면
한 발이면 충분해.
우리
Let's see.
의뢰가 아니잖아.
So I ended up pulling Hanafuda Ishmael 3 times. No Gregor. Let's see. So I used up all of my lunacy, all of my tickets. We ended up at like 180 pulls. So I had to go into the mirror dungeon, do my weekly, then do the entire event, you know, using all the Enkephalin so that we could get the tickets and lunacy needed to do the final 20 pulls for 200. And then I got Gregor. So
타겟 일부가 터져버렸어.
no Gebra announcer, sadly. And it really is just the Walpurgis experience. Who's on? Desperate efforts.
이럴 때일수록
Yeah.
천천히 해.
I think it's worth it though. I really like Hanafuda Ishmael.
제게 말을 거는 건 룰 위반이죠.
She's incredibly fun.
정당한 공무 집행이다. 기가 튀게.
You pulled 5 announcers last Walpurgis, but luckily this time around 20 summons to get Gregory and Ishmael. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, both of these IDs seem pretty decent. Like I said, good clashing.
오, 적법한 판단이었어.
They just get free damage for no reason. I always love that. I guess, are they stronger than previous Walpurgis IDs? Nah, probably
지금 쏴버려.
Probably
이럴 때일수록
not.
천천히.
천천히는 개뿔. 그냥 부서진 데다가 다 박으면 안 돼?
but damn, they're cool.
나선 속을 벗어날 수 없.
I mean, how
이쪽입니다.
do you not like that sound effect? Dude. Okay, I think I figured her out. Because we just did what? Like 2 turns in a row? Who's on? I think a big part of building her bright stacks. I hate the city. I had to use 200 poles. I'm broke.
여기 확대해봐.
Yeah, a really big part of building her bright stacks is you gain more of them. Let's see. If this unit formed a hand last turn and this turn in succession, gain 1 bright potency. So you can gain, what, at least 3? Maximum 3 potency in a turn. But most of the time you'll end up building 2.
누가 누구에게 말을 거는 거지?
There's probably just a little bit of fine tuning I can do for this, but look at this.
이 검은, 이 명예는, 이 영광은 빗바래지 않을 테니.
이런 건 구경하기도
Hell
어려운데
yeah.
대단한 걸.
나중에 분석해볼 만한 가치가 있겠어.
기억해둘게.
Leaky chicken.
눈 멀지 않게 조심하도록.
Hate to see it. But you also can't look away.
뭐 좋은 거 먹었나?
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
빠르게 처리하지.
사물.
저런 사람을 영입해야 하는 건데.
사무실 직원을 위해 재정 여유는 없고.
Yeah, I really like this team comp. I feel like
그렇게 서 있으면 목이
I feel like if Honglu had maybe had like a better
지금이라면
Tremor
한
ID.
단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠다.
짝패군요. 그 시스.
Or one that leans more into the double status effect shenanigans like all the other ones do. Do you guys ever think it's crazy how Tremor is probably the #1 team at the moment, right? It's like Tremor and Heishao are neck and neck. Whoops. Unlucky.
제압을 준비합니다.
분위기가 좋네.
Oh, I missed that. You also had the Spark Gregor.
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
Trying to remember, did I have to? I don't remember if I had to spark for the last Walpurgis or not. No, you know what? I remember what happened last Walpurgis. What happened was I got the ego and the 2 IDs, but Magical Girl Dawn I pulled on my 200 pull. I think is when I got her. Or is that what happened with the Arknights event? Maybe it happened twice.
분위기 좋은데?
지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
Oh, I also got the full stop announcers during my poll. They don't seem too bad.
완전히 멈췄다. 제압한 시간은 전부 징수했어. 상관없지.
Radia is more stronger. Not sure about Dawn. I think Dawn's really strong too.
기가 튀고.
효력사.
전력으로 상대해봐.
계속하면 되겠네.
분위기가 좋네.
Because Dawn's got the AoE attacks, so she can take care of a lot of people.
좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
체납한 시간은 전부 징수했으니 상관없지.
And also just synergizing with her Magical Girl ego as well. She gains and gives a lot of good buffs. And I think it heals too. No way. Okay. Wouldn't it be insane? Insane, right? Like, have I used up my luck? I should get this. This is 1% chance. Okay. 1% chance for wealth? We insert the coin. And fucking nothing. No. Damn, dude. This actually would have been the best Walpurgis. Now it's ruined.
분위기가 좋네. 뭐 좋은 거라도 먹었나?
지금 공격하는 건
탈출기
좋은
제품.
타이밍은 아니야.
You know, if I got wealth, that is 10 lunacy
총알까봐 떠올려라.
to help build up the
분위기
fund.
좋은데?
지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
당신 짝패군요. 벗어날 수 있다고 생각했는데
사무실 전을 세정 여유는 없고
타겟 제거 확인.
긍정적인 신호다. 마음은 놓지 말고.
Alright, we're gonna be at 5 stacks here.
빠르게 처리하지.
So we get a Kozan.
삼코
효력사.
계속하면 되겠네.
What does that event give? So that event is a 1% chance of actually succeeding, and it gives you
마음은 놓지 말고.
hold on.
정당한 공무 집행.
It gives you an ego gift that makes everything in the shop cost 1.
기가 튀고.
So basically everything's free. I also think there's some shenanigan, like it gives you, it makes your clashing better too, right? So the ego gift is called Whelp, if you want to look it up.
빈틈투성이군. 빈틈투성이다. 네 약점인가?
Wait, here it is. Okay.
긍정적인
So it says
신호다.
fix all ego gift purchases and enhancement costs to 1. Allies gain 1 offensive level for every 500 cost on self, max 20. So that's 6 free clash power.
탈출 개체
빈틈투성이다.
I guess 6 2/3 clash power.
사냥감인가? 몸이 끓어오르는군.
Yeah, basically if you get the gift you win your run.
분위기가 좋네.
Have any of you guys gotten it?
먹었나?
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
당신 짝패군요.
I stopped counting the number of times I've come across the event because it's just getting sad.
분위기 좋은데?
지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
정당한 공무 집행이다.
제압 완료.
효력사.
계속하면 되겠네.
빈틈투성이군. 스테디가 허술하게.
3월
타겟 제거 확인.
긍정적인 신호다. 마음은 놓지 말고.
You know, now that I'm looking at it, for a trimmer team, we sure do have a lot of blades and not hammers and stuff, you know?
당신 짝패군요.
Two, count them.
내가
Two.
찾은 나만의
Can you get it from the
방식.
shop? No, I think it's only from the event.
자세가 뭐니? 자비에 감사하도록.
벌써 버벅이나?
타겟 제거 확인.
긍정적인
Seeing
신호다.
Mount Faust clashing for 81 was very funny. I'm sure that's nothing new for her.
받아볼 텐가.
빈틈
이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가자고요.
좋아. 코이코이.
Ishmael only has skill 3. So you can use Kozan every 2 turns.
수 있어. 벗어날 수 있다고
I was thinking about that. Wait, what happens on your turn 1s though? Like for your turn 1, can the passive only ever be the blue suit?
눈 멀지 않게 조심하.
Or do you have to change it?
분위기가 좋네. 뭐 좋은 거라도 먹었나?
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
탈출 개체 확인.
It only goes to the blue suit? Oh damn, they thought of everything. That's awesome. You know, I gotta say, I do think I love Hanafuda Ishmael more than Gregor.
분위기 좋은데?
지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
She's very funny.
탈출 개체 확인.
좋아. 코이코이.
I can't wait till we get an ID based around Mahjong.
사무실 직원을 더 늘릴 재정 여유는 없군.
I feel like that game gets pretty bloodthirsty. Oh, dude, could you imagine an ID based around a Monopoly?
편하게 가자고요.
타겟 제거 확인.
Now that's a crazy game.
마음은 놓지 말고.
Dear Lord. I've seen friendships permanently ruined, like 10 plus years of being friends just out the gutter due to Monopoly. What other game can do that?
직접 타도하자.
전력으로 상대해봐.
Actually, now that I think about it, League of Legends. Yeah, that game ruins friendships too.
효력사.
자세가 뭐니? 자비에 감사.
계속하면 되겠네. 타겟 일부가 터졌어.
수성이군. 이제 신경 쓰지. 해소되겠군.
빈틈
Stiletto.
올인이었나요?
타겟 제거
Oh, her
확인.
codes on it didn't go
긍정적인
off.
신호다. 마음은 놓지 말고.
정당한 공무 집행이다.
There's nobody to kill.
전력으로 상대해봐.
Uno. Have you ever played Uno No Mercy?
자세가 뭐니? 자비에
Why does that
감사.
sound familiar? Is that the one where they add in more like fucked up cards? Like there's like draw 10s? There's like draw 10s, you can switch your hand with someone else's. Shit like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we played that. That game wasn't like so much a friendship killer when we played it, but that it took too long. Maybe that's the way it kills friendships. You get to know people too well. You're just like, God, you're actually a freaking psychopath, aren't you? There we are. That's what I've been missing, my biovenom.
자, 판 돌아갑니다.
You can make someone draw like 30? What the fuck? What's your method for grinding Starlight? Just don't spend it. Honestly.
지금 공격하는 건
I never
좋은
really
타이밍은
grinded it
아니야.
out. I just don't use it when I do mirror dungeon runs, so it kind of built up. Cause yeah, what am I at? Like 6K?
정당한 공무 집행.
I should check how many mirror dungeon runs I'm up to for this season.
저런 사람을 연습해야 하는 건데.
총알타 반가울 목대장 예에는 없군.
정당한 공무 집행. 가속.
자세가 뭐니? 자비의
Alright, that's awesome.
올인이었나요?
Dude, that's so satisfying. Leaving an enemy at like 1 HP and Gregor over here is just like, oh, that's my fucking time. Comes over with the shiv.
효력사.
좋아.
계속하면 되겠네.
Yeah, I know what to do to an enemy that has low HP, man. Fucking zips across the screen. You know, honestly, he's kind of a kill stealer, isn't he? That's kind of messed up. Hard to do Mirror Dungeon Extreme with positive Starlight gain. Isn't that like actually impossible? I feel like you've got to take every single buff if you're gonna do an extreme run.
장땡. 눈 멀지 않게 조심하.
And you gotta boost them.
분위기가 좋네. 뭐 좋은 거라도 먹었나?
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
And you only really enjoy Mirror Dungeon Extreme. Wait, how far can you get in Mirror Dungeon Extreme if you don't take any Starlight buffs? Stiletto.
사무생 직원을 더 늘리고 이거 버티고
분위기 좋은데?
지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
정당한 공무집행. 피가 튀고
Only MDE, that's crazy.
완전히 모르겠네.
Wait, you do a lot of MDEs too, though.
상관없지.
전격발.
탈출 개체가
자세가
전부
뭐니? 자비의 감사도.
타겟 제거 확인.
긍정적인
Wait, did he just attack a
마음은
completely
놓지 말고.
unrelated character to kill them? Alright, what does he say?
더 있나? 있다면 빠르게 처리하자고.
Speed Demon?
제압을 준비합니다.
Only once per week and only when a new ID is released, though. This time you do normals and maybe hard. I gotcha.
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍.
That makes sense.
나선 속을 벗어날 수는 없어. 3월
그런 사람의 명이 필요한 건데.
Okay, wait, so I can test out. So,
사무실 직원을 더 늘릴 예산 외에는 없고.
시선 경멸스러워.
let me check
분위기
this.
좋은데?
지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
이미
It doesn't specify anything unique for the blue card, though, does it?
위반이죠.
Okay, so if my theory is correct, she should gain three right here. But if she does, I don't know why.
당신 짝패군요.
Alright, I have no fucking clue. I think there's something unique to
내가 찾은
the gloom
나만의
status.
항의
So I know you gain one for matching the color, another one for matching or for succession. I don't know where the third one's coming from.
대단한 걸.
자비의 감사도.
Doesn't ego gain more? Does it say
타겟
that?
제거 확인.
이미 패소입니다.
긍정적인 신호다.
제게 말을 거는
마음은
건
놓지
룰
말고.
위반이죠.
Oh, the skill is either Sakura-sen or an ego skill gain one bright. Oh. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's the missing puzzle piece. I knew there was fucking something. It was driving me crazy. Okay. Yeah, dude, I actually think she's a pretty strong ID. She's kind of crazy, to be frank.
빠르게 처리하지.
And I'm not even frank, I'm psyched.
빈틈투성이군.
So, ego and her skill 3.
자세가 모르겠니?
올인이었나요?
If you use an ego, it doesn't even have to match the suit and you still gain 1. Oh, was that the eyeball? I just skipped. Whoops.
눈 멀지 않게 조심하도록.
There's a percent chance for her to get an additional one.
이미 입회 중입니다.
I know she has that on her
거는 건늘
her counter attack. Yeah, the 50% chance. Is that also in her passive? Did I miss that? See, 25% chance to gain one ego resource corresponding to the skill's affinity. Yeah. Very funny ID.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없.
슬픔에 흔들린 마음 이렇게 터져버리죠.
I think in terms of strength, definitely not as strong though as like Magical Girl or even the Full Stop Office.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 태엽 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
Those IDs are insane. I feel like that shouldn't really be the standard, you know?
사무실 직원을 더 늘릴 자세가 없고.
빈틈투성이군. 효수라도 좋아.
계속하면 되겠네. 여기
Almost the one turn.
탈출 개체 확인.
상태가 안 좋고.
피가 튀.
지금 공격에 들어가는 게 유효하겠어.
And even when I tested these guys out on Lahang, this team did really well. I think they're pretty damn strong. Alright, well I guess if Cassetti wants to pop up 3 times, go kill him.
더 있나? 있다면 빠르게 처리하자고.
사냥감인가? 몸이 끓어오르는군.
분위기가 좋네. 뭐 좋은 거라도 먹었나?
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
빠르게 처리하지.
Do you guys think future IDs are also just gonna start mix and matching status effects?
총알가 바탕을 놓는
Like right now,
분위기 좋은데?
Project Moon has been working on,
높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
you know, Tremor plus other status effects. Like a lot.
빠르게
Like
처리하지.
there's been a weird amount. I'm curious if they're gonna start doing that with other effects too. Could you imagine sinking burn?
빈틈투성이군.
벗어날 수 있다고
자비에
생각해.
감사.
We end up getting some like crossfire IDs.
긍정적인 신호다. 마음은
That'd be
놓지
pretty
말고.
cool, man. Rupture burn. Since this canto began, almost every ID is a mix of two statuses.
더 있나? 있다면 빠르게 처리하자고.
사냥감인가? 몸이 끓어오르는군.
I feel like for the most part, it's been like Tremor and something else. Yeah.
지금 공격하는 건
You know,
좋은
I really like that.
당신
I think that lets them mix like a lot of weird stuff. You know, especially if we think we're going into Q Corp for Ryoshu's Kanto and they have like talismans, I mean, dude, sky's the limit for what they could do. Because we know nothing about Q Corp.
한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
Like, actually, I don't think we know a damn thing about Q Corp. Other than the talismans and Honglu's sister's like an empress there.
탈출 개체가 정리되었습니다.
빈틈투성이군.
Archer plus burn is Heisha Sinclair. Oh yeah, you're right.
계속하면 되겠네.
Yeah, that's true. True. How could I forget my rooster boy?
제압을 준비합니다.
분위기가 좋네. 뭐 좋은 거라도 먹었나?
지금 공격하는 건 좋은 타이밍은 아니야.
I didn't really comment, but I like these announcers. They are not yappers. Nice calm voices.
탈출 개체 확인.
Messwinka said he cursed every time he got hit. You know, I thought that was on purpose when it first came out.
저런 사람을 영입해하는 건데.
벗어날 수 있다.
I was like, damn, dude, this guy just really does not like getting hit. Understandable, but he's really kind of milking this, isn't he?
정당한 공무 집행이다.
괴물이요? 무슨 잘못 본 거겠죠. 못
이런 거
봤지?
구경하기도 어려운데 대단한 걸.
나중에
개체가 약화된 줄
자비의 감사도.
You know what I just realized?
전쟁에 집중하는 게 좋겠군.
한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠군.
싫다면 말이지.
우월해지는 것인데.
The wound effects for Gregor, they're showing you like gradually driving the dagger deeper into them. So open wound, you know, just a flesh wound. Deep wound, you can see it going into their rib cage. And then fatal wound, it's looking in their heart. Damn, dude.
빠르게 처리하지.
We're getting Kozan here. It's funny for like 2 fights after that just got annoying to you.
탈출 개체가 정리되었습니다.
Slap. Kozan.
3코
효력사. 좋아.
왕국의 주인아,
계속하면 되겠네.
얘를 cat쳐라. 반역의 죄는 서형이 마땅하리라. 분위기가 좋네.
What the hell?
뭐 좋은 거라고 먹어?
How'd the camera just drop from the ceiling like that?
지금 공격하는 건
was
좋은
weird.
타이밍은 아니야.
모조리 죽여서 조용히 만드는
Oh,
거야.
interesting. Why did she keep 2 stats?
이미 입회 중입니다.
Was it because all the Kozan hits didn't get used last turn? She only used 3? Huh. I don't know. That was weird. Let's see. She's yellow, so we can actually get a Kozan here. Oh, good. Is he rate from 1 to 10? For Gregor gets a lot of damage on his skill 3. Like a pretty, like an insane amount, actually. Deal plus 1% damage for every. Oh, this is his Night's Owl. I mean, even then, yeah, this is just like a ton of damage that he does. Also, it is a little hard to take into account Tremor Hemorrhage. I don't know how much additional damage this is really doing, but it is on Tremor Burst, take less damage equal to the sum of Tremor Potency and Bleed Potency divided by 2. I feel like that there's like a good chunk of damage that comes out of that. So I don't know.
당신 짝패군요.
I don't know. I feel like an 8 out of 10 for Gregor. Ishmael's like a 9 out of 10. I think she's kind of crazy.
웬일이에요? 무슨 잘못 본 거겠죠.
But I might be a little biased.
못 봤지? 주목받기. 코코.
Yeah, look at that. Just 500 free damage.
덮어놓고 공격하는 것보단
All I did was play Match the Affinities. Yeah, that's awesome.
이렇게 터져버리죠.
Zombie, why do you think they're dog shit? I mean, you come in here and you said that like 3 times, but you've never like defended your position, you know?
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 폐허방에 그 답이 있을까요?
Like, did you just not like the design? Is it because there's no story associated with it? Like, I feel like there's plenty of things to be a little upset about, but you should at least have a dialogue. Also, they do just 1 turn Cassetti. That's crazy. Oh, also, another really big thing about Gregor, he finally has an idea to go with Unbrilliant Glory. So if you got the Arc Knights collab Ego, I forgot, I could have used that in that last fight. Wait, what? Why can't I click on? That was weird. Compared to Ishmael? Ooh, it is a little hard to compare the two. I think Ishmael is more satisfying though. Playing into your affinity gimmick, and then you get like a really cool reward out of doing so. Like, dude, the Kozan animation is some of their best work. What is that? I don't remember. Did Hanafuda have that? No, she had like a different. Yeah, the actual Hanafuda had something way different in Ruina attached to her coat. Quick check voice lines. Weird.
도박장에 빌붙어서 돈 버는 사람으로서 말하기는 좀 그런데 저 사람들
Could see if there isn't anything in the future that you need to save for. Yeah, it's not like we have another collaboration in the distance.
저희한테 정리되는 거겠지만 저희는 화투패로 하는 거라면 전문으로 이 패를 담당하고 있죠. 포커나 마작같이 다른 물건들을 사용하는 건 그쪽 전문가에게 의뢰하시고요. 못하는 건
poker
아니지만
identity.
중요한 판일수록 전문 이페인이 들어가는 게 상식이니까요. 화투패로 딱지내기를 하더라도 말이에요.
Dude, I really hope they do some shenanigans like that when we see the West associations. Like they've all got guns, they're all poker players with cowboy hats.
이 밤에 여긴 왜 자꾸 알짱거려요? 지금이 제일 민감한 시간이니까 괜히 걸리적거리지 말고 안전한 데로 가시죠. 특히 저기 눈동자에 초점이 없는 사람이랑 손목 한쪽에 날아가서 버려진 사람 근처엔 가지도 마시고.
The next banner has been data mined. Won't say who it is. Oh, did you spoil yourself? Yeah, don't put it here.
어디에나 있잖아요.
Wait, how did they data mine it?
저 녀석이 반칙을 했다.
I thought Project Moon stopped putting in future stuff before it's released. Because if you guys remember White Ishmael, I think like an entire week before she actually got released, she was put into the game, and people on private servers were playing her like a week early. I remember because someone did a White Ishmael solo, and I was like, what in the fuck? That's actually so lame to me. Data mining to fucking private servers. Ugh. Gross.
그것도 나쁘진 않은데. 이쪽 업계에서는 그만큼 커리어를 인정받는 일도 없으니까요. 실력 없으면 부르지도 않으니.
I think it'd be a little different if there's like a creator server or something, because I know I think like Hoyoverse and Wuwa do that. so that different content creators can, you know, be like, hey, this is how the character works.
이럴 줄 알았죠. 금방 아수라장이 날 것 같더라니. 자, 거기 딱 멈춰요. 지금부터 이 테이블에서 벗어나거나 화투짝 건드리거나 재채기라도 하면 그대로 손목재로 썰어버릴 테니까.
I think Ishmael just has like a collection of hands.
낮장 밤일, 밤일 낮장.
Ooh,
지금 새벽이
low at night,
된 지가
high at day.
언젠데
That's
아직도
her cards from Ruina.
잔말 말고 당신이 졌으니까 돈 뱉어내시죠. 뭐 이번 입회 규칙에 의하면 창자를 뱉어내셔도 상관없긴 한데 도와드려요? 고코? 저걸 실화로 쳐서 뽑네. 가시죠. 파투페 입회 의뢰인가요?
Like Ishmael's kit looks very complicated, but when you're using it, it's very easy to understand. It's just so yeah, you literally just match the affinity for what the card is, and then just know that you gain more potency if you use an ego skill or if you're in succession. So ideally what you want to do is like turn 1, if you can you have to match whatever the suit is. If you match, just like play out that skill. If you don't, switch it to an ego so that you can match it, and then the next turn also play an ego skill, and boom, you're at 5 stacks. Or her skill 3 if you're a blue suit.
가시죠. 파투페 입회 의뢰인가요? 가시죠. 파투페 입회 의뢰인가요?
It's not so bad. I think I was really overcomplicating it at the beginning of the stream.
자, 판 돌아갑니다.
You know, I would like Ishmael to be my dealer.
자, 판 돌아갑니다.
Hell yeah.
이미 입회 중입니다. 제게 말을 거는 건 룰 위반이죠. 좋아, 코이코이. 좋아, 코이코이.
Hell yeah.
이딴 개패가 올인이었나요?
Ishmael, we don't talk about all-ins here.
올인이었나요? 내가 구석에 몰릴 줄이야. 장땡. 아, 망통이 뜨냐. 어떡해. 그러니까 재밌게 놀다 가시기나 하지 왜 승질을 부려서 이 꼴을 내나요? 아휴, 이 돈은 이번 입회 규칙에 따라 처리해두겠습니다. 이럴 줄 알았으면 주인 없는 돈이 생겼을 때 입회인이 챙기는 비율 좀 늘려서 계약할걸.
Sometimes they leave pieces of code that tell when a sinner is getting something new. Ishmael and Gregor are already expected to gain something because of this. Foreign tremor hemorrhage was in the files a week before, and Ryoshu. Why are they even doing that? It's so weird to me.
의뢰를 냈다 싶더니 이렇게나 밑장 빼는 놈들이 한가득일 줄이야. 아, 한 달은 의뢰 없이 놀아도 되겠는데요? 사무소 놓았네.
Like, do people not want to be surprised?
이 판은 죽습니다.
Wait, what?
이래 가지고는 의뢰고 뭐고 제목
This is
하나
funny.
검사하기도 어려워서. 아, 사무소에서 사람을 더 끌고 나와야겠네.
Yeah, what does she mean by can't finish the contract if I'm too dead?
아,
Shouldn't it just be if I'm dead?
제 몸 하나 건사하기도
What is
어려워서.
too dead?
아,
Is there something beyond death that I'm not aware of? Should I be worried?
비가 그칠 무렵에는 하늘이 밝아질 때까지 숙청이 끝나지 않은 건 오랜만이군. 손가락 걸기를 앞두고 입조심 못하는 멍청이들이 꽤 늘어난 걸 테지. 그래, 고맙군. 이 일은 죽는 순간까지 침묵할 것은 맹세하지. 숙청
Headmine content isn't really spread too much outside of the Discord channel. I think every now and then it hits the Reddit.
미리 알았으니 도망칠 몇 명을 살 수 있겠어. 심야의 숙청을 담당하던 우리가 이제는 숙청의 대상이 되었나? 밤이 깊었으니 초대장을 써야겠군. 어딜 가나 어둠뿐이라면 도시의 별이라도 길잡이 삼는 편이 나을 테지.
Pretty cool. Might as well let the star of the city light our way.
예상치 못한 일은 아니었어. 두목은 젊어서 그런지 불이나 호기심을 참지 못하는 사람이었거든. 그래서 그런가 화가 나진 않더라고. 단지 그 사고가 대부님의 의중을 묻는 멍청한 말 한마디였다는 건 다시 생각해도 어이가 없고. 짝다리 짚기, 식사하면서 말하기, 한숨 쉬기, 말 끊기.
Talking with your mouth
하지만
full.
그렇게 말해도
To be fair, that is really gross.
고치는 놈들이 몇
I think that's
있었지.
a bad habit for people to get into.
엄지사나에서 그런 경솔하고 가벼운 태도만큼 스스로에게 끔찍한 습관도 없는데 말이야. 엄지의 숙청대 공방에서 괜찮은 원단을 구한 애송이들 남부의 숙청자 중 하나. 그게 밤에 송곳이 올라갈 가장 높은 자리였겠지. 우리 조직은 명망 높은 패밀리 출신도 아니고 힘 있는 파벌에 몸담지.
Is this even a word? Famiglia. Oh, it's literally Italian for family.
엘사
Okay,
뒷골목 한 자리 먹어보겠다고 개처럼 구른 결과가 고작이 그래.
Alright, I could have guessed that.
짝다리집 예상치 못한 일은 아니었어. 두목은 젊어서 그런지 불이나 호기심을 참지 못하는 사람이었거든. 이 고요함 나쁘지 않군.
Is it just you or the Gregor ID is always has a hidden boost on quality?
침묵을 지키는 자에겐
What, you mean the artwork?
백년의 평화가.
Oh yeah, of the art. I mean, they always, I don't know, I feel like their work is always so good, it's kind of hard to tell. You can see his, like, what, is it pinpoint strike? Or stiletto? I don't know, there's a card art in Ruina which has these, like, holes and stuff. Oh, is that Pablo? Is he on the guy? I have no clue what that is.
살아서 돌아갈 수만 있다면 무엇이든 마지막까지 발버둥 칠 수밖에. 전장에 집중하는 게 좋겠군. 개죽음 당하기 싫다면 말이지.
Snuff it.
빠르게 처리하지. 여기가 네 약점인가?
What? That doesn't even sound like a voice. That sounds like if I was walking and I fucking ran into like my hip bumped the table. That's exactly what that sounds like. That's funny.
빈틈투성이군. 도망친다고 달라질 운명은 아니었나?
Sounds like a typewriter. You know, when I do press it fast, I can hear that. That actually does sound like a typewriter when you rapid click it. This is Shakespeare writing Macbeth.
도망친다고
That's awesome.
달라질 운명은 아니었나? 더 있나? 있다면 빠르게 처리하자고. 노력한다고 뭐든 해결되면 얼마나 좋겠어. 남은 인원은 몇 명이지? 움직일 수 있나? 돌아가면 조직원부터 다시 모으는 편이 좋겠군. 고작 이 정도 인원으로 엄지를 찾아갔다간
Capo di Capis.
대군님께서 우리를
Can't wait to meet them in
쓸모없다고
Ryoshi's
판단할지도
Kanto.
모른다. 서두르지. 수습이 늦어지면 여기서 살아남은 게 다 헛수고가 될 테니.
Wait, what?
검지의
Hold on.
일 마무리가 나쁘지 않았어. 이걸로 숙청은 면할 수 있겠군.
Wait, implying that they beat the library?
서두르지. 수습이 늦어지면 여기서 살아남은 게 다 헛수고가 될 테니. 검지의 책. 일 마무리가 나쁘지 않았어. 이걸로 숙청은 면할 수 있겠군. 도서관으로 갈지 뒷골목을 통해 빠져나갈지 괜한 고민이었군.
Sorry, am I crazy
엄지의 숙청을 피해 도망친다 한들
thinking that he survived the library?
정해진 죽음에게서
I know we
벗어날
talked
수
about that
없었나?
back when Alan and Hanafuda show up in Kanto 8. Because the way they word that one fucking sentence, them being like survivors of the library, confused the hell out of me. But I mean, this is a different mirror world, so who knows? But that is weird though. It was a weird catch. Must manage to leave like how Lulu and Sand did? No, because he talks about actually getting a book, which you can only get if they win.
서두르지. 수습이 늦어지면 여기서 서두르지. 수습이 늦어지면 여기서 살아남은 게 다 헛수고가 될 테니.
Because he says they actually get a book of the index, so that would imply that they managed to win against the library.
숙청은 면할 수 있겠군.
Whereas, yeah, when Lulu and Sand ran, they didn't get anything. They just ran. Maybe Dante might need to be separated from the sinners because he relies too much on the sinners, and they might give him something to defend himself. I've joked about that. Why doesn't Dante just have a gun? Although, you know, it could be like a strategic thing too. If he's the only person that doesn't have a weapon, then maybe like when they're fighting, people won't see him as a threat right away. So then they won't go after him. Could be something like that too. It's weird because the update story does imply that they lose. Oh yeah, it does. What the fuck?
서두르지. 수습이 늦어지면 여기서 살아남은 게 다 헛수고가
Who knows? Maybe we can write that one off as just
검지의 책.
odd. Oh yeah, we got this. Ooh, that's a really cool border. I actually really like this. The stilettos and the cards. And of course, the best phrase in the game. Beastman said he must want in a second time because he gets chased by the thumb and he loses. I don't know, maybe. Even be able to use the gun, sure he could train, but I think a gun wouldn't be much against most threats that even the sinners can't handle. Yeah, that's true. I don't know, what if you got like a point blank shot? You know, like when Ricardo was about to smush him. The thing is, at least it's like a chance, you know? Very minuscule, but maybe. It's either that or, you know, he presses the bomb on the back of his head, just fucking explodes. Dante with the gun versus Lehang wouldn't be much of a fight, but it would be funny. You know, his seed of light abilities are probably stronger than a gun. Maybe that's part of it. I don't think I've ever done a Walpurgis event in one day. That's crazy. I don't know, chat, do we have anything else? Feel pretty happy about this Walpurgis. Other than fucking lunacy. Actually tragic. Hanafuda Ishmael, easily my favorite. Her skill 3 Sakura-sen and then Kozan just looks so fucking cool. God, the animations are amazing. Gregor, his Night Owl animation does look a little goofy, but I do think he's a really good ID. You know, just all this bonus damage from Marseille. He helps out killing a lot. And then, yeah, just stuff like this. If the enemy core has 20% or less HP, deal plus 120% damage instead. Like, man. And then again, both IDs are really good at clashing. We didn't have much trouble. Dante using Gebra's Seed of Light ability. If he manifest ego, he might use minor split vertical. Oh, damn. Wait, what if that's actually the ability that he gets? Like, he gains some kind of ego and he jumps into the battle just to do like a little... just to do a hit on the enemy. That is Pablo. Or a beetle. I actually don't know. Let's see. 2 weeks from now is going to be the railway Bakak, and then 2 weeks after that, what, Canto 9? I don't think there's anything else that's scheduled, so yeah, man, we got some fun stuff. I'm really excited to see what they do for the railway. How they decide to switch it up. Because it's going to be a precursor to what Railway Line 2 is. And I'm just gonna say it now. They should just completely they should probably skip a Bakak for Railway 2. Either that or just redo the entire thing. Cause dear lord. I don't think I want to do that one again. Yeah. Other than that, cool Walpurgis. So we'll go ahead and call it here for stream. So thanks for hanging out, everyone. Oh, MFU with Ricardo Lahang and Ahab. Now see, something like that could be very interesting, but also you just die. But that would be fun. Although my other prediction is that they give Cromer unbreakable coins and everybody dies. So yeah, we'll call it. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and or night. I will see you in the next one. Peace.